back. How was that for an intro? So, as you could see, the turbo doesn't have the filter on it, nor does it have the coupler holding the filter onto it. Um, I also changed out the boost reference there for the compressor housing. One, because it's this old 7-year-old rubber hose, but it literally had no give. And the previous hose clamp, and I can't even show you, although I can show you that one right there. So it's one of those pinch clamps that has the little nub that sticks up and like kind of locks the clamp into place. So that's what was holding it on before, and that was a pain in the butt to get off anyway. And even trying to bend it right now, it's actually pretty stiff. But anyway, it it was able to twist on the barb fitting on the compressor housing, but I could not get it off. So I actually had to end up cutting it off of there, and then I took that pinch clamp off of the T fitting there on the boost controller, and so now it's free. Um, so I changed that out, but I did this. I kind of did that little intro just to give a little bit of a sound thing. I'm going to attempt something different now. So I've never done this before, and usually it's because I am afraid of mistakes, and usually mistakes or issues do come about, and it causes a huge delay. And if I were to have done a time lapse, it would have been way too long. But what I'm going to do is I've decided to take this S cover off, and as you guys saw from a previous video, if you saw it, I'm going to put on the jet fighter one. So I'm not sure if they even offer the S housing. I haven't even looked at the listings for new turbos when buying a new turbo, but all I know is that when going for a compressor housing, the jet fighter, just the compressor housing alone, the jet fighter is all that's there. So that's what we have. I was debating on whether I wanted to do it, but I figured since I do have also the Gymkhana exhaust right here, just kind of sitting by waiting for me to get that installed. That'll be used on the street because it's way too loud on the track, or at least I would think it would be way too loud on the track. And so I don't want to use it. I just kind of want to use it to be obnoxious on the street. It's kind of what the that compressor housing will be. So I'll keep this one for the track because it doesn't need to be. I don't need to have special noises going on the track, and then use the jet fighter one for the street. Just to, if I'm going to go all out obnoxious, might as well. Or if I'm going to go obnoxious, might as well go all out obnoxious. But and just for fun. So because I think it does sound cool, but I would not want to listen to it while on track constantly. I'd rather just focus on noises that actually pertain to the performance of the car, make sure everything is working correctly. Anyway, also big news is I have my computer hooked up to the USB cord that is connected to the ECU. So the car is tuned. Computer's not on right now. I just kind of did that to walk over just to show you that I now have the USB cable that connects me to the ECU, so I can do some logging and whatnot, and get some logs for the tuner and send them off and whatnot, which I have already done. So I got the car back last week. It is Monday night on the 3rd, so I got it back. I believe it was last Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm going to say Tuesday because I know when I got it back I was kind of teased because it was wet outside, so I didn't drive it when I first got it back home. And then Wednesday and Thursday I believe it was also a little bit wet. So Friday was a day that I decided to take it out, and I burnt quite a bit of fuel just to have some fun. So I wanted to test out a few things, and I first stuck with the low boost setting, and I'll hop in the car really quick just to kind of show you what's going on here. So, so blah blah blah, whatever. So we got this toggle switch here. So it's a AEM 12 position. Forget what the exact title of it is. Gosh dang, yeah, forgetting the exact title. Anyway, 12 position switch. So positions 0, 1, 2, and 3 are all off, and then that's for the low boost setting. So now for the track, when running 93, which will be during the colder months if I decide to go to the track during those, 0 through 3 will be the low boost setting, and on 93 it'll be about 350 wheel, and then on E85 it'll be 450. So this time around, well, I should say last time I was running 530 to the wheels at E62, I believe it was. So anything above that was a little bit more power. But I decided to go with less power this time because, sure enough, I could scream down the track and be cool like that. But the corners were a little bit less manageable. So I just kind of want to see how this should be easier on the brakes and all that fun jazz, because I'll have less speed going into the corners and all that stuff. So I should be able to brake later and all that, and hopefully my lap times will be reflective of that, and I'll be able to improve my driving skill around corners and make up speed there, because I think I have a lot of speed or a lot of time cooped up in the turns. Anyway, so that's that. And then position 4 is when it goes from 0 to 1, meaning binary, 0 being off, 1 being on. So on 4 through 11, this is where the high boost is quote unquote unlocked. So on that, I'll be able to make 600 to the wheels. However, so the other day, the other day on Friday afternoon when I took it out, the low boost map worked perfectly fine, no issues. I made sure I had over 70, I had 67% ethanol, so I was probably just a tad bit under 450. But then I got the ethanol content up to 72% and called up a buddy and we went for a little drive. And thankfully, the low boost setting was still perfectly fine. But when I turned it on to the position 4 for high boost, that is where the issue came, and it was hitting boost cut. Now I didn't know what it was at first because I'm still getting used to all the parameters and all the PC Link software. So learning how to dig through things and all that, and there's a whole different world too. Looking at all the parameters, being able to see absolutely everything that is being logged. Um, so, from what I was looking at it, what it looked like was my tuner had set up a barometer safety, which was at 50.8 psi, from what I could tell. And when I looked at the logs, every time I was in the low boost setting, obviously I was perfectly fine. But when I went into the high boost setting, there was one occasion where I hit 54 and another occasion where I hit 51.8, I think. So caught it really quickly the second time around, or whatever attempt that was. I only attempted 2 pulls on the high boost. Both of them ended up in a cutout, and I didn't know whether it was boost cut, fuel cut, or something was majorly an issue. But no check engine lights came on, so that was all that. But ended up finding out it was a boost cut. So now my tuner, because I'm still getting familiar with everything, is coming up with a way that he wants to control the boost creep and whatnot. So probably going to increase duty cycle or something on the wastegate. We'll see. Either way, can't use the high boost setting right now, which is kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. So yeah, but let's get this time lapse going. What I'm going to try to do, because I haven't done it before, is just taking off the compressor housing. I could take off the entire turbo, which would involve taking this clamp off, which isn't too hard, but the hard one is the up pipe to the turbo T-bolt clamp. That's a pain in the butt, and I really don't want to do that, and then I'd have to, finagle it out of the oil return line, which isn't so hard to pull it out of, but it's very hard to get the oil return tube back into the oil return hose and tighten that clamp and all that jazz. So what I'm going to try to do is just take off. I can access all 6 bolts that are holding the 3 brackets on for the compressor housing, and then obviously that's the clamp holding the compressor housing into the intercooler piping. So I'm going to try to remove all that. Like I said, I just put this on, so that should be easy to pull off, and then hopefully it just slides off easy. And there's a little bit of wiggle room once this is off of the compressor housing too, so hopefully the new compressor housing can just slide on, I can bolt it up, and then it's just a matter of getting frustrated with the intercooler coupler. But I'd rather deal with that than have to take everything off. And yeah, because it's not a whole turbo swap, it's just the one. But let's get to it. Alright, well, unknowing to you all, this is take 2 because I forgot to turn on my mics. And when the receiver is plugged in, yeah, there's no, the camera's actual microphone doesn't work, so there's no audio. But anyway, I was talking about all this, so finally got the compressor housing off, and so kind of cool to see it here. And I'm going to hold the flashlight and the camera with the same hand, so forgive me on the like unsteadiness, but pretty cool. I don't know. When I looked at it the first time, it looked a lot bigger, and now it's looking a little bit tinier. But this is what the 62 mil inducer with, I don't even know what size exducer, but this is the Gen 2, and hopefully it goes in that slips onto the turbine housing a lot easier than what it looks like it will. But we shall see here shortly. But just to bring you over and show it off a little bit, get to show you the differences. So, I mean, you guys saw it when it was on the turbo, so here's the S housing, but pretty cool. And then here is the jet fighter housing, and as you can see, it's right there on the inlet. It's kind of like it's whole. There's nothing drilled into it or anything like that. And here there's 3 of these little guys. So do I know exactly what causes the noise that the T51R mod makes? I do not know. I don't. But I can assume that the 3 of those do. And then you can kind of see the surge control slots in there, just a little bit. It's a little machining. So you got a chunk of metal right there, and then the chunk of metal right there as well. But then there's like a hole right there, and it's supposed to, you know, protect from surge. So there you have it, y'all. Also have the fitting for the boost reference, because you got to have that so that the turbo doesn't go crazy. And yeah, so there it is. Old one, new one, just for the street though. That'll be what I run on the track. So yeah, let's get back to the action of putting this guy on. Okay, different attire, but same day. What do you know it? Like I said, things are always going to freaking go wrong, and that's why I don't like doing time lapses, but I'm doing this one anyway. So here we go. Gonna put this on, and then right after that, we'll be back to the time lapse. So here we go.